So apparently, the Tren problem that Colorado have is not done. It's not over. There's a new footage. I don't know if this is the current or the old footage of it, but they're talking about it.
Meanwhile, back here at home, Ainsley?
Yeah, so Trinidad, we've talked about them. They really were on the map because of all the immigration problems through Joe Biden. And we talked a lot. We've talked a lot over the last year about that apartment complex in Aurora. And it looks like, according to police records, they are back. This is some video of 9 suspected Trinidad gang members.
So this is Aurora, Colorado. This is the same place where, yeah, this is might be the same apartment. I don't know. Apartment complex. But someone is not doing their job. Either be the cops, the Colorado Aurora PD, or the ICE. No, is ICE allowed in there? I don't know. I mean, it's Colorado, so it's blue. Got it. They probably have some kind of a sanctuary status, or stay, or something like that. Maybe they claim.
That just unleashed chaos in Colorado. It's chilling doorbell video because they were knocking on neighbors' doors, apartment complex doors again, and no telling what they would have done if people had opened their doors. The police chief there, he said they weren't bringing coffee cakes. They weren't bringing welcoming trays.
Not.
They brought guns.
So why are they there? So either rival gangs or maybe they are trying to rob and clean, apartments. I don't know. So it looks to me maybe they're there with purpose. They're probably maybe rival gangs, or maybe the someone that they have dispute with. Who knows? But PD, Aurora PD needs to look into that.
Based upon everything that I stated here, based upon the involvement, the actions, the behaviors, the demeanor, there is without question gang involvement in this. And again, we are going to hold those individuals accountable.
Are you though? And then again, maybe their hands are tied. You know what I mean? Maybe the mayor or the governor are complicit. Just like how Chicago and LA, the mayors, they have the dumb mayors over there when it comes to this. So now you know.
So will we see protests here? Like, are y'all going to block ICE and the federal agents that want to arrest these bad guys? Are y'all going to link arms with them when they try to take them into custody? They are on the wrong side of this.
Oh, yes.
And, Brian, it just reminds me of that major moment when J.D. Vance is on ABC, and he was told it was just a few apartment complexes.
Nothing.
President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Come on, Margaret.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs.
Okay, let's just end that with they did not invade or take over the city, as Donald Trump said. I want to move on to
just a few apartment complexes, no big deal.
A few apartment complexes that the mayor did not seem was invading the entire city.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I want to move on. She says. Of course she does.
The T-shirt was, can you listen? Do you listen to yourself? Right. You listen to yourself. This is so unbelievable.
Can you listen to yourself,
Number one,
Martha?
if the mayor doesn't have a problem with that, he should resign immediately.
He should.
Right? And the governor to deny and think that Donald Trump's the problem, you have no business in that position, Governor Polis. And now that they're back, TDA,
so
this is what the
this
president's
is
already made clear when he said in L.A.
All right, so it might not be the same apartment complex because it's different railings, different colors of doors, but still, it's still in Aurora, Colorado. Even if it's just one apartment complex, 9 armed gang members showing up in the apartment complex with their guns drawn. And the Democrats are going to call this, it's just, that's just a nothing burger. What's going to happen is, it's like the host said that ICE is going to go in there. They're going to find out who are these people, and they will find out. And they're going to extract them out of there. And we're going to have some leftist protesters going to link arms trying to protect these goons. That's what they're going to do, But these people are not stupid. They seen themselves right there. It's like, wait a minute, that's us. They can easily just evade by just, moving out or getting out of Aurora. But somehow there was a report back in the day. Well, not back in the day. I think it was in August, 2024, last year, that they were tipped off. That they were tipped off because they weren't there. All of a sudden, when the ICE were, trying to look for them, they weren't there. And everyone was kind of downplaying it, including the mayor and the governor and some of those people that they interviewed around town. They're like, wait, I don't see any of that. But it's because they're, they might be afraid. They're afraid that might go back and, this goons might, retaliate and target them. But yeah, this is where we are right now in Aurora, Colorado. And
can't control those riots. I'm sending in, and I'm, by the way, he's posting. Now he says you have a problem in Chicago. I'm going to send there. Now, Mr. President, if he's watching right now, you still got the same problem, but now you're president.
Yeah, and imagine,
so if this mayor and these police people won't take it, that you send the National Guard in right there.
Imagine living in this building. Police, since just last August, have responded to 44 calls for service at that complex related to 12 separate incidents, including threats that were made to the tenants, shots being fired, and squatting.
So y'all remember the last time Tom Homan went there? He went there with 200 federal agents, and the activists on the ground tipped the gangsters
off. Oh, yeah, there you go.
See,
I told you.
And they evaded arrest. So they got to go back in, and no one should know they're going.
Okay, yeah, no one should know to go back. That's why there has to be covert, arrest. Meaning they have to go in there, and they're like maybe a van, florist van, with the FBI, with ICE, get a big white van or black van, just put ICE for sale in there or something like that, or delivering ICE. You know what I mean? And agents on plain clothes and everything. So, it's got to be a surprise arrest, because, I think there's a mole in there the mole is the media, because they'll tell, they'll report it and they'll tell everyone, oh, I'm going to reporting this. We're going to be going to Aurora, Colorado, and this is it. We're going to be riding on a black van. So it exposes everything. So they get tipped off. And this, like I said, these people, like the gamer, they're not stupid. They know how things works. And they're going to hide behind, guys of being the immigrant, those women and children. That's what they're going to do. And they look like they're just, they're young people. So, yeah.
The Aurora City Council member said this, gosh, once again, if someone would have just listened to me, it's not an isolated incident, not just poor friendly migrants that I was picking on. Certainly not a feature of my imagination. No, sir. You did the right thing.
See, okay, yeah. See how he, again, analyzing this video, they're there for a reason, right? I mean, meaning like maybe they know this person, or maybe it's a retaliation, or maybe a drug, the drug dealing gone bad, because you can tell that, he probably knocked on the door, and he backed away. They're ready to shoot. That means like he was anticipating that there's someone's in there with a gun. That's just my analysis.
And now we have the right president to handle it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian.
So, I mean, if they're there to rob that place, or they would probably just, kick the door or break down the door, kick the door and get in. But then again, he was, they were knocking at the door and gun drawn, and he was backing away, and they were kind of cautious approaching that door. So yeah, whatever that is, they need to get out of there, because the Aurora, Colorado is not gonna they cannot protect you any longer, those gang members in Aurora, Colorado. So if I were you, I'll self-deport. But then again, given the atmosphere right now, and politically though, Democrats is always siding with the bad guys. So, and there you have it. Until next time.